Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Esports Wales, the Valorant League, the round robin. Lots of teams involved. They've been fighting each other. There's been some big diffs. There's been some crazy games. There's been some close games. There's been some absolute annihilation. I'm Bigfoot. I'm here alongside EG. How's it going there, bro? Coming all the way from America.
Yeah, coming all the way from the nice Midwest, the flattest place on earth, I guess. And honestly, it's nice to be here, especially at Esports Wales. We got two amazing teams for us to watch today. I believe we're going to be opening it off in these both best of ones with the Goats versus the Dragons. So that's pretty exciting to see here. And honestly, I'm just happy to be here. It's not every day that I get to cast some esports over on the EU side of things, but being over there, it must be fun. Tell me, how's the weather like over there?
Terrible, mate.
Understandable. All right, but with that being said, let's talk a little bit about these map picks here and where we're actually going to be heading today.
Sure, yeah. So the map bans have came in. Goats have locked out Fracture and Icebox and Bind, and Dragons have locked out Ascent, Breeze, and Pearl. And the Dragons will be attacking on Haven, and the Goats defending on Haven, which was the final map remaining.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. So obviously they did want to ban out all of those common maps, but Haven, it's where people like to be most of the time. So we are going to be opening it up, joining in on that map of Haven early here for us today. And let's actually find out what these characters are going to be locking in for us, as we do have quite a few wonderful players on both sides of the team here. And we know Haven, it's got a lot of different strategies, but the main one is you're going to see the Omen on control, and you're going to see a few other things. So hopefully it is going to be good enough as we jump straight into this game. And my question for you, my wonderful co-host Bigfoot, who do you think is going to be taking this one today, just based on the previous stats?
Based on previous scores, it's looking like it will be the Goats. The Goats have 13-5 Puffins, 13-5 Pit Ponies, and 13-4 the Artists. The Dragons have been 13-3'd by the Pirates. They've been 13-10 by the Pit Ponies, so they did manage to scrape that one into a victory, but came up a little bit short. And against the absolute, annihilating team of this round robin, the Swans, they did manage to get 3 rounds on the board, which is actually quite good. The Swans are pretty much invincible so far, so just even getting 3 rounds on the board is good for the Dragons, but it does look like the Goats' record so far is a little bit stronger, but we're always hoping for those upsets and those underdog victories, aren't we?
Yeah, obviously an underdog story is always nice to watch because we get a root alongside them. But obviously also I do kind of like to hype up the people on the back end here, the ones that are always winning it up in the front. But looking at how this game is getting started, let's talk a little bit about these agent picks here. Obviously, we're going to be seeing pretty much default Valorant. The only thing that I'm seeing a little bit different is back again to an old school meta strat of Brimstone Sage. That's kind of fallen to the back end recently, but I'm glad to see it back again here on Haven.
Haven was actually the fastest match of this tournament so far. The Swans 13-0'd. I haven't got the deep notes right now, but it was super, super fast, and they had some amazing breach jet combos flashing through the boxes on C or A site and dashing back in. We've got Neon. Satania was also played last time I did see the Dragons play. It looks like they've got a pretty easy C site with a spike straight down and a wall up inside Garage. Excellent fast take.
Incredibly quick here, but it's still going to be a 5 versus 4 now, as a beautiful flank is going to develop here from the defense, and the retake's already underway. Looks like everyone's just dropping lives, but it's all up to this player, Molly, here. But Molly is unfortunately not going to be able to stand very well, as it is now down 3-0 here at the start. Pistol round, honestly, you were talking about it going quick here, Bigfoot, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
That was really fast. Yeah, I mean, it was such a fast execute, and then the retake was so fast as well. I'm not sure which one was faster, but the Goats coming out on top. Dragon showing an excellent ability to take that site, but not to hold on to it. The flank was left a little bit open, and they just, the Goats came in the back door and started picking them apart pretty easily.
Yeah, pretty easy for us to see there. I kind of like that flank. It was such an early one from the defense to really just lock in that retake. Obviously, the attack, they were on that site in a blink of an eye, but I think the main reason for that is because if we looked at that mini map, they would have been seeing the defense running straight through mid to get behind them and kind of giving it up. But talking about running straight through grass here, we're already seeing the attackers doing yet another fast play, but nice try. And there it is, going to be good for 2 here, and he's ready for more, but they're going to have to bail, as this is all down to Molly yet again, and that's flawless.
And MJT with the free K getting some beautiful headshots of the Sheriff there inside Garage. And it'll be 2 rounds to the Goats. Pretty easy there for that second round as well. just hanging on to this bonus right now. 4 Spectres and a Sheriff. Oh, I can't see what's going on just this second. But yeah, that was excellent 2 first rounds for the Goats. And Dragon's now going to have that buy round. Got a few bigger guns in their pockets. It's going to be their chance to start clawing back. But maybe they might slow it down now. Or they might continue this rush now they have that slight upper hand. Looks like the full stack is towards A.
Yeah, it is going to be an A stack here. And I do see that Eddie is right up front trying to make a little bit of space for his teammate. But Satania just going in for it. And but this flank already with the Blade Storm popped. We can tell that because of that last play, the triple kill, they're going to want some more. And that flank is going to be gorgeous as he takes down the Sage. Looking for some more, though. And they are going to be able to get the attack side bomb planted over on the B point. A point. No guarantee for anybody here. It's just going to be a retake, though. Decent attempt. And what a spray. Already taking him down.
Way.
I mean, they're just going for it. And the knives, they are going to be run up, but defense is just going to be able to get themselves some free guns like they were bought by the enemies. And that's going to be free for this team. And we can already tell that. I think that's the side of Goats on defense is doing such a clean job so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's the definition of bonus round, isn't it? Where you start off with Spectres and walk out with 4 rifles. And not even all your utility wasted. I mean, there was just half of it used out there to take back that site. And just, again, the Goats reclaiming the site so easily. They might just start playing for retakes. They might just let the Dragons take a site and just rush that retake since they're doing such a good job of it so far.
Yeah, they are doing such a clean job. But, of course, this is going to be another round that we're going to have to see these attackers save. They are going to be kind of forcing up with the Sheriffs. And it's a decent weapon up close. It can one-tap, so hopefully they might be able to steal some of their guns back they lost from last round. But if anything is here, it's just going to be a real push-up from defense. And this Jet is always in control, getting a double down from behind. And that's what we need to be seeing. The spike is down, though. And Saitana needs to do something here. Obi is only going to be the only one to go down, and that is it, though. Beautiful attempt. Defenders back again, 4-0 so far.
Well, they're hanging on by a thread, getting the odd kill here and there, but so far the Dragons are yet to prove their ability to really control a site to the point of keeping it for the match for a round point. And MJT is just annihilating them with 10 kills on the board and only 1 death. And now MJT's picked up that operator. The bank is full of credits. This could get even harder for the Dragons to claw back now.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard, especially now that we're seeing the op in the hands of Control MJT. That is a 10-1 player now wanting to op crutch his way to victory. And I think he might just do it. It is a best of 1, so you're going to have to come out swinging. So I'm hoping that we can see something here. Lendoth is going to be lending himself over by Jen here, just needing to find that 1 pick. But unfortunately, defense, they know to give up the site when they can and just play around retake. We are going to see the first pick, Obi, going down onto the KJ, and from the push is going to grab it with the Neon. This is what we need to be seeing here, but the flank, it's always this Jet right behind you, has an op and is going to be able to drop 1 and somehow barely managing to get away right into another, but all the whiff shots, Eddie can't hit him, leaving only Loverboy, but he ain't loving that. That's another round, but this time it goes to the attackers.
Well, I'm going to have to eat some words there. Once that op was bought, I really thought it was going to start just being, continuing the annihilation on the side of the Ghost, but the Dragons clawing back 1 round beautifully there, completely picking apart the aggression of the Goats. And getting 1 on the board. They're going to try and ride off the back of this. They do haven't. Have they thrown the op off the map? No, they're still. Yep, they've thrown the op off the map. They're having none of it. They don't even want to let the Goats get that back.
And that's what you're going to want to do. It's kind of a strange play, though. They dropped their good gun at that time for the op just for it to lose it. So that actually lost them the cost of a Vandal or Phantom. So not exactly the smartest play. Should have just left it on the ground before the round ended. But regardless, I think they're still happy that they were able to take their first round here. But Eddie, already right off the gate, is going to get 1 and tries to get another, but has to back it out.
There's 1 down. Oh. And it will be 4v3 now for the Ghosts.
1 enemy remaining.
Takes another, Lendoff takes another, and it is now just 1 player standing. We just have Yavia standing alone. Taken down as MJT gets the free hit.
Yeah, is going to get that triple kill down and doing their best, really, as they are locking this in. But let's see what can happen in the next round here. We are going to have the attackers trying to buy whatever they really can. I mean, their economy kind of just got robbed from them. Every time they win one, we're going to probably see another team win 4. But, you know, they were able to win the last one before this one. So they do have 4 ultimates available. You got the Neon, you got the Brim, and you got everything that you really need to do post-plant here, especially with that post-plant Brimstone and that Killjoy lockdown. So that might be able to get them another round here, but it's going to be pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's a price. If they have to pay it, they have to pay it. They've got to get something else on the board. Luckily, MJT misses that first op shot. Another chance to peek, but the Dragons will just back off.
Yeah, they are going to have to back off here. Rotating over to A. We're actually going to see the overdrive coming out from Satania. They're going straight in. Nice little wall to guard them, but Eddie is just going to line it up and get that pick. We do have another ultimate. This is the second one of this round. It's the Nightfall falling right onto the site, and they are going to be able to get the... Wait, they're also popping the Killjoy ult right now. They put everything on this push, and they only have the Brimstone ult, and from behind, the Brimstone ult's gone. Maybe they can get a res off if they get MJT, but the defenders are doing counter ults of their own. But check your corners. Oh, that's gotta suck. But there we go. Now down to 2.
The classic took out the Blaze Storm because MJT was just pushing in a little bit too confidently there. The defender Killjoy doesn't get anyone, but the spike is going to start being diffused. There is a smoke on A long. It looks like the stick is going to come through, and Body's going to make that pick just a little bit too late and will be taken down by Weaver's My Bay. She had a chance, but she couldn't quite finish it off. Loverboy sticking that spike.
Yeah, you're just going to want to stick the spike and defuse it as fast as you possibly can. Obviously, the fastest is, what, 8 seconds, I believe, to fully defuse it. But with that being said, I still have a question for these attackers. What was that attack plan? The Nightfall, the lockdown, and the overdrive were all popped in the same time, and that's not exactly what you want to do when you're trying to play around it. You only need maybe 1 or 2 of those ultimates to take a point. Watching both of them drop and then having Brimstone fall down to the Blade Storm flank, it's a very strange way to play it, but MJT going straight in with an easy opening shot here and ready for some more.
Yeah, those 3 ultimates could be used a little bit more cohesively together, but it was a nice try all the same. Did get the spike down, but once that defender lockdown went, it was just not enough. And MJT is still just popping off with that op on C long, and now making that push to lobby as well. MJT is kill hungry.
Yeah, kill hungry and killing it up, but right around what? Still manages to just have a faster reaction time than someone who's been hard holding that corner for quite some time here. But already we got Molly on the other side looking to just go straight into A. But right from behind, it's going to be Via being the man to get the kill. Eddie now trying to get the trade and cannot. This is a good round looking out for the attackers here, but they still have to get past MJT and this Killjoy.
Yeah, the Dragons sometimes manage to pick apart the Goats a little bit when they're a little bit too kill hungry, making that push without checking corners. They're starting, like, the Goats are obviously feeding themselves, but I think they could, if they just slow down a little bit, they'd have even more flawless victory going on for them.
Absolutely. But look at this. He's actually trying to retake this with an op. It does drop down. This is bad positioning, and he's the only one. Looks like he just went there and Uber Eats delivered himself an op to the enemies. That's not exactly what you want to be doing here.
They're going to pick it up and throw it back off the map. No, I think they might have learned their lesson and just left it on the floor this time. But yeah, definitely good to take that out. But as far as I'm aware, the economy is still pretty good for the Goats. Could we get a little tab there, please, GG? Thank you. Yeah, and that's another op straight on the board.
I mean,
doesn't matter how many ops you
lose. He's got so much money left. He still has 2,700 credits. This is something different than what we normally expect for us.
Okay. Slightly slowing it down a little bit, moving into mid, but Satania gets dropped instantly by MJT peeking Garage. And MJT's mixing up where they peek as well, which is just an excellent way to do it, so they never know where you're going to be with that op.
Yeah, right around the corner though. Sir Tom here is ready, but MJT, for the first time I've seen it, he's actually missed an op shot on somebody standing still. This is not what we usually see from the Goats here. But Dragons is still lacking 1. The Neon has dropped, and this is down to a 4 versus 5. And they're going to where they've only been able to win rounds, really, and that's going to be over on A. They're pretty confident on this site, and I'm not really sure as to what the play is once they get the post plant going on here.
He's going to send the horn out, get a little bit of information. There's something going on there. The spike is almost on spot. It's going to go down, I think, in a second, but MJT has just seen Sir Tom hot on the tail of the op again. Sir Tom trying to be sneaky, but Its location has already been given away. MJT is moving in slowly through lobby.
You gotta move pretty slow, but that's the ultimate. It's gonna be a beautiful rockfall going right in. Rockslide sliding these players away, but what is that? It's gonna be a double down for defense, and they're going for it. Via with a beautiful spray transfer, and now it's all up to MJT. And the op does not bring up justice here, as the Obi is actually gonna be able to grab that round for them. That's exactly what we want to be seeing here, and I'm actually seeing the attackers kind of fall into their own. If they can keep this up, they might have a much better game than we saw early on.
Yeah, Dragons are getting used to their retakes a little bit now. And also, like I said last round, the GOATs are getting a little bit too kill greedy at times, rushing in a bit too fast, and maybe getting a little bit overconfident off their start of the match victory.
Yeah, they're pretty confident, and I'm hoping that confidence is going to be able to just ooze into this next round. Not really sure what they're buying, but, you know, sometimes not knowing something is good, as the Blade Storm's going to pop out, and you don't have to buy anything if the knives actually connect, but looks like he's going to have to go back and get a loan for the next round here, as Lendoff is holding it down with his teammate, attacking Killjoy, popping out the lockdown, and they're locking these players out of the defense. They have to kind of force it back, as Tom is just going to take advantage of the space, but that's only going to be 2 picks down in the retake, 3v4.
And talk about overconfidence, we had MJT push a 5-stack with the Blade Storm. Weber moving in on the retake, takes down Sir Tom. Eddie wallbangs Via, and it's just Molly on the long as well as Obi. Obi, last one standing, does get a beautiful headshot, will get another, takes down Edie, and does get a free K. Lovable falls, and that is one more round on the board for the Dragons. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just liking what we're seeing from Obi, being able to clutch up 2 rounds back-to-back with some nice, clean headshots. And I'm hoping to see that again, as this Sage is at the top of the scoreboard, 7-7. Lucky you gamer right here. But looking at that scoreboard, I'm seeing something a little bit different. 21-4. This Jett is hard carrying in a game 6-4. There have been only 10 rounds, but you could tell this person's always good for more than 2. And I'm ready to hopefully see what else they can bring to the table now that they're not buying an op and they're pulling out the Vandal for probably the first time in a few rounds here.
So Tom, instant kill onto Weaver. That's an excellent drop there. So Tom, maybe, nope, not quite going to get Lendoff. Is Lendoff going to repeat? Not quite. So Tom just using this actually a small gap in the smoke from the defending side to their advantage.
Yeah, they're definitely taking the advantage here. MJT this time kind of stuck between this box here. He can now make it work for him. He is going to play off of his teammate and actually snipes out Obi before the trades come out from Eddie as well. This is exactly what the defense needed. They had to take out the biggest player, and that is going to be the Sage. However, we still have that Brimstone ult. We have yet to see it fall down. It's almost the end of this half, and for once, I have not seen a single call down here. And this orbital strike, I don't think is going to come out unless this bomb gets planted and he stays alive.
He is going to get the spike down. A slightly different spot to normal. Putting those swarm grenades not quite on the spikes, so they might be less noticed. I do like it if you can sort of get a line of thing, because sometimes just walking around the spike, you get easy to hear and shoot them out. So Tom at the back of the site, going to get an excellent kill on that Loverboy, and another one onto Edie. And it is now just one player standing for this entire retake. Lendoff in mid, the turret is in him. Satania making that push out inside the walls. And just as he pulls out the paranoia, Satania takes him down.
Yeah, taking them down there. Attackers, I think they're about to tie this up. This is definitely a much closer game than we have expected before, but in the last round of the half, we have still the orbital strike available in the Brimstone's hands. Yet to use it yet, and I'm hoping that we can see something from them here, as we are going to be jumping right into this next one. Last round, and we have only one ultimate defense gets to use, and that's going to be the KJ lockdown here.
Could be absolutely critical though if they get it in the right spot and it does pop off. We've seen every time they've dropped the defender Killjoy lockdown that it has been extremely crucial in taking that site back. So if they can keep Killjoy alive, this might be a 7-5. MJT in another awkward spot this time. MJT just loving to move around the map in surprise spots, but Garage will not be pushed.
It's not going to get pushed this time here, and A's kind of left underdeveloped. We only have one person on site, and that's going to be the Fade here, Eddie. And Eddie's absolutely been crucial in holding down A consistently, and I think he might do it yet again. But Sir Tom, he's on that triple kill hype, and he wants to make it rock. We already see one ultimate drop, and that is going to come from the Fade. Bomb will get planted as well via ready for the post plant, but here we go. The retake right underway. That is going to be a beautiful lockdown. Not really too much these attackers can go. They have to leave the site ASAP. Oh, they're going to finally use the ultimate, though, to destroy the lockdown. Finally, we're seeing that drop out here. But speaking of dropping out, from the top of heaven, it's MJT taking out one.
No, Weaver with a quick peek takes down Satania. The lockdown might have been destroyed, but the retake has not. The retake is still in full swing as Obi is stuck behind an Omen smoke. Not much to do, and the defuse will come through. MJT peeking out another 3 kills in this round. We've had 12 rounds, and MJT is on how many kills? We'll see in a second, but it's nearly 30. That is an average of about 2.5 a round, I think.
Absolutely. I think they're about like 25 here, and they've only died 6 or 7 times in total. That is definitely a flex. Almost 30 bombing in the first half. The only time I've ever seen that happen was when I was casting TSM over in NA, and that's something a little bit different than you really expect to see. But hopefully MJT lives up to the control in his name, putting the control under his foot with everybody, not even able to breach double digits by the time he's almost at 30 kills. That's pretty crazy. Yeah,
no one else is on double digits, and MJT's had a steady average of 2 per round. That is insane.
He's just taking them all. There's nowhere else to get them. They're already gone before the site's even there, and I think that leads into how aggressive he's been. And with that aggression, I'd love to see what he could do on this attack.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you would expect to see a bigger difference in the rounds at 7 than 7-5, considering MJT's kill count. Straight up onto the box, does get a beautiful kill onto Molly. Molly just completely surprised by that quick dash.
Rio, though. We are going to see one go down. It's already the person we've been hyping up the most, but right-clicking from that far, Sir Tom is not going to be able to get the pick. Does do a little bit of damage. Eddie is here to get one clean headshot down with the Ghost, and it makes 2 more players Ghosts. Absolutely beautiful gameplay. Attackers now up 3 rounds right off this gate here.
My days. I mean, the Dragons really needed that first round, to be honest, but they were just taken back by the aggression. It was actually pretty much the same thing they did in the first round, the first pistol round of the first half, where they just pushed straight into C, but they just managed to hold on to that site with so much more strength than the Dragons did initially. And yeah, 8-5, it's looking like a rocky start to the second half of the Dragons. The Goats moving ahead. In the first half of the Dragons almost brought it back to an even score, so to see what they can put out the bag.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they can pull something out here, but it's all going to be how they can really do it, as it's a very aggressive push back onto C. They are going to force up, but MJT is already right above sight, looking for one. Molly is not going to be able to get any shots, and the person carrying the Molly, Sir Tom, is going to drop as well. This is not looking too hot here for the defense, but 3 versus 5, they might be able to. I'm hoping that we can see Neon actually get their name on the board, but MJT is just so aggressive.
Oh. Do you think MJT is saving up for an op already with that Sheriff buy? Like, it's just sticking for the round 4 op again, even though they're on attack side. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, not too surprised here, but I'm actually shocked. At the start of the half, MJT, 25 kills, and you know, where are they now is the real question. They've been trying to get to that 30. They've been trying to slowly breach it through, but 9-5 is where the score is going to be. If they reach double digits before this team gets to 6, I think it might just be GG with the momentum that they built up, especially on how good of an aggressive strategy that they've really been laying into this poor defense team.
Yeah, and the Sheriff out in the bonus round. Is it going to be able to take down the bigger guns? I probably will, to be honest, after what we've seen so far. Spectre shooting into that Sage wall, but they're just going to rotate off the back of it. You know, there's no need to push that. They haven't quite got the Vandals to take down that wall, and when they breach through, they will be facing Vandals. So MJT now leading the charge with the Sheriff back into Garage. Looks like they're stuck on Seaside, but with a different route to get there. And unfortunately looking a little bit too far to the left, and Molly gets some shots off, but not a kill just yet.
Yeah, not a kill quite yet here. We are going to see MJT dash into a death via a nice shot, and we got Satania doing it again, but sliding his way right into their DMs and death matching it up. It's going to be another one. Via finally getting 3, but panics on the final, and it's just going to be the Neon. Needs to clean this up. And from the side, it's Obi to get the final pick yet again. A round that the Dragons desperately needed.
Yeah, some really good stuff there. Yavia got 3 kills there. She did great holding down B site, you know, and the B site can be such a hassle if you get funneled into... If it's free, it's quite hard to keep. But if you're pushing it and there's a few players on site, it can be really tricky. They did a great job there, just getting there just ahead of the defending side. The attacking side, sorry.
Yeah, attack side looking pretty clean here. Ready for more. I want to see what else the defense can really do. They're still on a semi-buy. No armor for the Sage and a Bulldog on the Brimstone. So they are down a little bit, but it's a Sage. So if anything happens, looks like you're going to need some armor next time. Let's see it, though. Tom up close, trying to hold it down. Can't either. I called him out, and they got absolutely shut down for it.
I was just talking yesterday about how the Sage Wall might need a little bit more health at times, and I think that's a prime example of how the Sage Wall's actually just made out of paper. If it's facing 3 or 4 Vandals, you know, the minute it goes up, it's gone. Lendoff getting a beautiful kill on a Via into Garage. Weaver taking down Molly. The attackers will get another round on the board. 10-6 now to the Goats.
Yeah, I remember every time I played on Split as Sage, my wall would go up mid and it is gone immediately. It's just there to waste bullets at that point. I think the only map that Sage wall really kind of shows up big is Icebox because of what you can do in Kitchen. The fact that it layers up on itself, that's something that is very powerful. But yeah, it is paper thin 99% of other times.
But that is something I don't see often enough when it's lengthways. So there's a few longs in this game, and when you're defending a spike against long, you can actually put the wall down lengthways and have that same effect for defense. It can work really well, but I rarely see it. And it is quite a situational tactic, but
when you're retaking, especially on the map of Haven, if they're plated for long, you could just wall it off. But nice shorty there, buddy. Not going to be very great, but it's the classic. Pulling up a classic right-click pick, taking him down. And now we are going to see the attackers not only plant the spike, but only have 2 more to worry about.
Yeah, there's a gnaw in the chat from Satanio, and I was thinking exactly the same thing. That is such a nightmare to camp that spot and miss both your shorty shots as they just jump in and rush, and before you get a chance to reload, you're dead. That was a gnaw for me too, Satanio. I felt that in my bones.
Yeah, feeling it for sure. Obviously, this is not what you want to be seeing here if you were the defense, but that's needed. We're going to see Molly actually pick up 1, but only 1, and it's all down to Obi. This is the person who's clutched 1v3s before, but that was on a defense where people had to walk into him. This is a completely different scenario, and I think that they might just not be able to have enough time. Yeah.
Nearly gets 1 more, but not quite. Loverboy down at 29 health, but triple beat comes out on top of Stinger any day.
Yeah, not really enough TTK anymore in that gun, especially since it's nerfed, but we are finally seeing MJT at 30 bombing here. Luckily, 3 people are going to join him in double digits at the time he finally breaks 30. However, I'm looking at this attack side. They have so many ultimates to really pop here. They're 1 away from the Omen, they're 2 away from the Breach, and everybody else is ready for it.
Yeah, there's 3 ultimates on the side of the attacking side now. We've got the Nightfall, the Bladestorm, and the Lockdown. We'll see how they use this combo. You know, we saw a similar combo earlier on, not used in complete cohesion, but the Bladestorm is on, the dash into sight is coming through. And unfortunately, MimJT will drop to Via.
Yeah, is going to drop down, but Via is here, trying to hold it down. 2 HP in a dream, but that's a wall-bangable box, and you are going to be buried in a box. Let's see the bomb now getting planted by Lendoff here, and he is not going to be able to really connect it as that fade. Clean able, pushing away. We do have 1 on the flank. It's going to be Obi. The nice teleport, buddy. Luckily, it gets the trade, though, and it's all up to the flank and Sage here to maybe clutch this up and not allow the attackers to get match point.
Yo, TPing, step up into heaven. Oh, nice, Obi. Is complete meta, but not when they're already in there. Oh my days, Obi, what is that? The Rolling Thunder does absolutely nothing as Loverboy falls to a headshot.
Yeah, not anything against these players. I mean, Obi here, he's clutched it up so many times. That is the 3rd 1v2, 1v3 style clutch. Every time he needs to really bring it for his team, he does. And that's kind of what we want to be seeing. But I'm looking at the scoreboard. The one person I kind of wanted to see more from was the Neon. Titania, 8 and 15 as a duelist. I'm hoping that this overdrive might be able to take him into overtime if he could just try to get those picks here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There is almost all 5 ultis on the defending side too. Molly just needs 1 more for the Nightfall. They've only got 2 half shields, so pretty much a full buy right now. They might be able to keep clawing this back, and if they do, I think you're right. Obi would have been a big part of that victory.
Yeah, definitely would have been, but let's see it. They're running in, gunning. They're going on to C. We're seeing 2 going down as the defense doing better, but already Tom is here for it with the double, triple to end it. That's what we need to be seeing from the GOATs here. Finally, their namesake might qualify.
Sir Tom with a beautiful spray control through his own smoke, getting 3 kills there before they even make their way out of that bottleneck, and they didn't even have to touch any of those ults. So they've got 5 comfortably on the board now, needing only 3 rounds to equalize the score. Honestly, you asked me before this match about stats, about previous scores, and who I thought might come ahead. And whatever the Dragons have been doing in the background to prepare for this match, it's working for them.
Yeah, it's definitely working for him, but let's see. This is going to be another A hit as they're running and gunning straight in. Do you like what we're seeing from Eddie? I don't understand why they've been so hyper-focused on A. I think that they are pretty confident, but that is finally the second orbital strike we're seeing from this player, and it hasn't actually been able to effectively do too much damage so far. And I'm hoping that maybe with the 4 ultimates remaining, now that they do get to pretty much pop this for free, it's going to be hard to hold this down. They're going to have to try to rotate around here and just go for the retake for sure.
Yeah, if they just hung on to that orbital strike for an extra 10 seconds, they could have used it to cancel down that lockdown. Sir Tom does get 1, but Lendorf does trade out. Unfortunately, Loverboy takes down Via, so now Satania is down as well as MJT takes down Obi. It is all over, I think.
Yeah, it is going to be all over from behind. It's the flank. The Jet has been doing his own thing, getting 2 picks down by C, and that's what we need to be saying from MJT. But match point is gathered here. Defense not looking too shabby when it comes to funds. Via having to force up a teammate to buy him a Bulldog, and everybody's kind of just going to be running on fumes here. They still, though, have 4 ultimates, and I'm hoping that those ults can try to play into effect here. But again, every time we've seen Satania pop an overdrive, it's just ended in death, and every time Molly's popped an ultimate, it's just been wasted on time. So I need to see some more from them for sure.
Yeah, and I'd definitely like to see some slightly different ulti tactics, because that might have been the pivotal moment in the game, you know, just using that orbital strike a little bit too early before that lockdown might have been where this match was lost from the hands of the Dragons.
Yeah, lost here, but they're ready for more. They're just going straight in. And I see that ultimate yet again being thrown out, but no one's really pushing against it. And that only just allows them to kind of get a rotate for free. The bomb is in the hands of this Omen, and he is teleported all the way to A. And he will be able to try to plant that bomb, but oh, the flanks are huge. That's another double down, as this is just going to be a 3v5. Just a whole lot of time still remaining for these defenders to try to just catch their breath. Or not.
Oh, MJT just in the most awkward of positions throughout this round. Obi does rev Sir Tom, though. There's a 3v5 retake. Is it going to be possible? Obi's about to fall again. MJT with another awkward positioning, getting 3 on the board. Days.
Wow. And that's actually going to be the end of the day for us today. And well, not end of the day, but end of their day for sure. I mean, we still have one best of 1 for us to be seeing here, and I'm really hoping here, my man Bigfoot, that it's gonna be a little bit longer than that, because we saw some pretty solid gameplay. But you know, Bigfoot, talk me through it. How did you feel about watching that game?
I thought that was a really good game, mate. And aside from the 13-10 against Pit Ponies, Dragons have been having a hard time getting rounds on the board, so I think they pulled themselves together a little bit. There was also a little change up in team members, so that might have had something to do with it. Obi was with us last time I saw the Dragons play, but Obi was actually on the Omen. And definitely a really good force to bring that back into the hands of the Dragons. But like I said earlier, I do think the pivotal point was that weighted orbital strike. And if that had taken down the lockdown and they still had 3 people on site to defend, they might have came out on top altogether, or at least they would have had a better chance of doing so. So that was slightly sad to see such a small mistake cost so much. But altogether, a really good performance from the Dragons, and the GOATs especially so.
Yeah, I mean, it was last round, and they had 4 ultimates sitting there, and pretty much none of them really got used in the most effective way possible. So it's all about how you use your utility around turning corners. But at the end of the day, that's just going to be a best of 1. So we're going to say GG to the GOATs there for absolutely bringing them in. I believe that was the GOATs anyways. I could be wrong. But with that being said, we are going to be taking a little bit of a short break here in between matches. We have another one lined up for us today. We got some of the best kind of gameplay for us to be watching. And I'm hoping you guys stick around, because it's going to be the Pirates versus the Puffins, and those guys are ready to rock it. So we'll see you in just a bit.
In a bit. Welcome back, everybody, to the Welsh Esports League. We're now in another lobby. Here are the Goats and the Swans. The Goats just took a great victory against the Dragons, but the Swans are a formidable opponent to be up against. So this should be an absolute banger of the match. I am Bigfoot, and I'm here with EG. How's it going there, bro?
I'm doing pretty good here, my man Bigfoot. And honestly, it's always nice that I finally found Bigfoot, but let's see if we can find some good gameplay. I really did like what we saw from the Goats coming up in the last best of one, but it's another one against the Swans here. And we all know how aggressive Swans can be. They might look pretty, but they absolutely just are not the nicest type of bird. But speaking of that, let's hopefully get into the map of Ascent here, as we're going to be flying away right into the floating map here. And honestly, I'm pretty happy to be on Ascent. It's one of those maps that's either really quick or really slow. I'm hoping that it is going to be the latter here, though, as we do have a lot of agent selections to be looking at. And
wow,
what is the meta? They are locking in so quick here. Talk me through what their picks are, Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, that's some pretty fast lock-ins. So obviously the Swans are used to this map and used to this comp. Manisk on the KO, Whizzing on the Jet. It's the only player I've seen him play so far. We've got Ross on the Omen, taking over from another Omen we saw a week or two ago, which was Nuxwoot. Some of these names, man. NXWT. I'm glad they're not with us tonight, because I've got no idea how you're supposed to say that. So Ross taking over on the Omen. Excellent meta pick for us. And you got those one-ways over on the A site and some really good double smokes when you're moving into the B site too. Looks like pretty much a mirror comp. It is 100% mirror comp, so that's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. MJT was an amazing jet in the last game we just watched dropping about a 30 bomb, So going to be interesting to see how he stands up against Whizzing.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting how they both hold up here. We did see insane gameplay coming around from MJT, getting that 32 kills, as you did point out. But again, we're going to be on Ascent, and this is the map that I'm most looking forward to today. Obviously, we are going to be seeing a almost mirrored matchup. Yep, actually a full mirrored matchup, as you were pointing out there, Bigfoot. And, you know, when it is a mirrored matchup, it comes down to who is better in the fundamentals of the gameplay. You don't have any difference in team play or styles or anything that you need to do. You have to execute the exact same strategies, but you just have to do it better. That's all a mirror matchup tells me.
Who's got the better meta? I think that does come down to that quite a lot. And talking of meta, we're seeing a split default, which isn't always the most common thing on a pistol round, but we'll see how they pull this off. Swans playing quite slow to start with on this default. Then, you know, for such a powerful team, they're not trying to rush anything just yet.
Yeah, just making sure that we are going to be here to follow these players and getting us ready to go. We do have a wonderful observer for us today, Quarterban, so always appreciate him being in here. But let's see if he's going to be able to give us the eyes and ears on the plays, as they're just jumping straight into the game here.
Yeah, excellent dash onto site for Whizzing there, getting that door closed straight away. Smokes are up, Lendoff is down in the back. Manix gets a beautiful kill onto Weaver, and now it's Edie in backside. Not be able to pull anything out as Whizzing gets a headshot.
Yeah, whizzing past the bullets right into your noggin. That's what you want to be seeing, but let's see if we can do it again. This is the kind of gameplay you need to be seeing. The bomb is going to be planted. The retake is definitely underway.
No!
Lewis, please shot, take him down. Looking for more in the Swans. What a very strong start on pistol.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there. Just taking it slow to start off, and then we're going to take a quick tech pause, I think. But yeah, Swan's taking it reasonably slow to start off with, and then moving in extremely fast. And that is a great way to do it. You know, you don't give anything away too early, and then as soon as you get everyone together and haven't given any information away, just start blasting through that site really fast. And yeah, some really good stuff, but unfortunately we did see Loverboy go down, not checking that corner there after the flash. Unfortunate death for Loverboy. They were in the last match when they were defending, there was a little bit of not checking corners too, maybe getting a little bit overconfident, but if there's anyone you want to check your corners against, it is the Swans.
Yeah, it is going to be the Swans here. You got to be able to check your corners, or they're going to peck your eyes out. And they already showed that with a lot of clean headshots. And I'm hoping that we can see it yet again, as we are going to be jumping straight into this match. And, you know, Bigfoot, I'm looking at that pistol round, looking at the fundamentals that we were lacking here. It seems like the Goats here are not playing the same way as they have been before. I kind of want to see them do a little bit better moving in. But obviously, it's going to be the game too. They already secured one, and no matter what, as long as they just win it, they're in a decent amount of standing in the bracket alone. So looking at that, looking at these buys coming around, looks like Attack is going to be forcing up 2 Bulldogs and a ton of Spectres.
Rotating.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Swans are entirely unbeaten in this entire round robin so far. Let me just double check what their scores have been. So yeah, they've got a 13-11. The Pirates, the only people that have managed to get double digits against them, a 13-5 against the Pit Ponies, 13-3 against the Dragons, and the fastest game of Valorant I've ever seen in my entire life was 13-0 against the Artists. Some of those rounds were about 15 seconds long as well.
Yeah, about 15 seconds long, but let's see if we're going to be seeing those kind of rounds pull up. You know, it kind of reminds me, last night I was doing a post-game interview, and I asked the players, hey, do you think you can do this again? Because they had openly asked the enemies for a knife fight, and it just became a knife fight in mid the entire time. And I asked them if they can ever replicate this, and they said, hell no. And honestly, I'm hoping that, you know, that question of can you replicate this can be answered by the GOATs here, because their first round was incredibly clean, and I'm hoping that they can maybe bring it back, but we are seeing some forcing up from MJT with a Marshall, looks like it. I'm just wondering if his team is... No, his team is not going to be buying with him, just trusting that he knows how to be rocking the scout here.
Yeah, it's a lot to pin your hopes and dreams on one Marshall with no shield. But did see some amazing stuff from MJT, but that was with the operator last game, where you don't really have to hit those headshots. You can just shoot on the nice big torso and get that instant kill. But Swans starting off with default again, but moving over to A site this time. And it's looking like it's only Loverboy standing there. We do actually have MJT pushing into Cat, but again, no one's in mid, so the info is clearing out most of mid. They're going to know it's going to be one of these sites. They haven't got any info on B, so the minute that Wizzing makes this push, they're going to be aware.
Yeah, they are definitely going to be aware here. They're going to see where they're going to be aware at. It's at A, and they're running right in. Loverboy actually secures one, and MJT's going to take the opportunity to grab another, but he is so low, and they're going to have to pull it back. Ross does have that spike, will be able to plant it. Unsure why he went for the TP there, but it's all good. They're going for more. 3 versus 4, and it's going to be very hard to retake, especially since they're at a weapon disadvantage. So I think they just have to try to get rid of these guns.
Yeah, and MJT with that Marshall now only on a couple of HP, 5 HP with a Marshall and a Dream. I mean, it's possible, but this is going to be a very, very tricky thing to pull out the bag, especially against the heavy, heavy weaponry of a Bulldog.
Yeah, heavy weaponry here, but look at that. It's right around the corner. Something. Finally connects it, and it is a massacre down Main Street with the triple kill in the hands of the Sova. What you need to be seeing here is the attackers have been absolutely crucially taking these players down one step at a time. Last round, though, they did lose 3, but here's the thing about second round. If you're on the team with a little bit more money, you're okay with going down, because that bonus round's still coming around for you. And we do have a full buy, Phantoms and Vandals here, but I'm not really sure if it's going to be as much as you need, especially the Bulldog here, really coming up big for the attacker so far.
Yeah, if a Bulldog's used correctly, it can be almost as powerful as a rifle. And talking of power, I just wanted to take a moment to shout out Ross and his utility usage, getting 7 assists on the board without getting a kill just yet. Excellent smoking and paranoia so far from Ross. Some really, really good stuff. It's what you want to see from an Omen. No matter how many kills you got, you want to see a high assist count for those paranoias and smokes.
Yeah, definitely. But look at this. Swans got a nice little split off here. 3 over towards B, 2 waiting it out in top mid. Maybe just a little bit outside. We'll be able to connect to our first little bit of information in top. That jet is not looking too hot here.
Oh dear.
Oh, nice shots.
Yeah, I was waiting for Wizzing to start popping off. Maybe the first 2 rounds weren't quite right economically to do so, but now the guns are in the hand. We might see a little bit more here from Wizzing. MJT, the kill leader, falling down.
Yeah, Loverboy, though, I mean, he's doing a decent job for the defense here. We'll be able to just try to make some space, but it's a full rotation coming around. We are seeing Lewis doing a decent job trying to hold them back up to the util that they can, but unfortunately for them, you know, we have a lot of information to be gathered here by Eddie. And this is the initiator fight against. But look at
oh my days, Wizzing!
With it, and oh, it's all down to the Omen now.
Yeah, Wizzing up to 5 kills now, starting to really rack it up. MJT is going to have to do some steady work to catch up. It's all just lend off here with the Phantom. And it might be a safer lend off, but looks like he's being pushed pretty strong by the full Swan squad.
Spray flawless though for the attack. And honestly, Swans, I did not expect them to be coming out this strong because one, I haven't really seen them perform too much, but I could definitely see that this is the team that I could see going far here. However, it's the buy round for the defense, and I'm hoping to see some real guns pop up.
Yeah, talking about going forward, we have been talking about EsportsWales being put together to sort of champion Welsh esports players, and if there's any players or squads that are going to go far from this current round robin that we've been watching, it will be the Swans. They've just looked so amazing. Like I said, only the Pirates have managed to get double digits against them.
You know, only the Pirates here. We were going to watch the Pirates, but unfortunately we are watching this game. Not in a bad way, but with that being said, let's hope to see what they can really be bringing out. Alarmbot is going to get some info in Lewis. He's got to be ready for this. He is lurking in their spawn. Will have to pull back just a bit, but he's waiting. They know they're going to just run right in, going for those punch shots, but everybody's got a sheriff, and he's actually going to go down with pistols.
I love it. Yeah, what are the Goats doing? This is amazing, mate. They're just rushing through the flank with the pistols, but now the Swans have that information. They can get the spike down and set up to defend the retake. Already holding the angle. Jakes with the Phantom. Oh no, and Ross is in wine as well. I think this might be Ross's time to get a few more kills on the board. Ross does get Edie. Ross gets Weaver and Lendorf. Yeah, Ross now up to 4 kills.
Wow, Ross on a triple, but now it's going to be MJT needing to duplicate that. He's going to be up top, but oh, he's so low. It's just one tap.
No way.
Through the smoke.
Whizzing with the guesswork. Yeah, beautiful guesswork there. Tracing them through the smoke, even though they can't see what we can. And excellent try from the Ghost. You know, that's not a bad save round tactic, just to push as hard as you can and sort of try and single these players out. Unfortunately, only really managing to get hold of Lewis amongst that.
Yeah, only really getting that 1 or 2, but MJT,
I think Jake's fell too, yeah.
We're seeing the op, though, and that's pretty big to see pop out here. Obviously, 2 players, the only 2 players to actually die twice so far, are going to be players like Jake and Manisk, but I want to see what they can do against an op in the hands of defense here. It's just going to be up for 1.
They needed that shot, and unfortunately, it doesn't quite connect.
It's not going to connect too well here. Looking for more. It's a full rotate by the Swans. They want to try to hit a B this time, but they are going to be walking into a deadly combination of both Killjoy and Sova. Whizzing, though, is the lurking gem that you want to expect, and it's done well for Lendorf.
Excellent lurk there from Whizzing. They thought that rotation was coming through thick and fast, but just hanging around on Cat, ready to pick someone up alone. There was Whizzing again. The Swans making that push in the side. Ross gets another kill. Weaver does trade out, but Whizzing and Jakes each getting 1. And now, oh, Loverboy coming through. Does take down Whizzing. Loverboy might have a chance, but I think it might just have to be a save from this op. Does Loverboy hold the angle for the exit or just run away?
That is a good question here, and I think he might just have to go full run it. His team is completely low on funds, and they're just kind of reacting to whatever they can. However, I'm looking over at this attack side. They might die to the bomb if they don't start making some moves away, but they're playing it extra default safe-sided. I mean, they have not moved an inch since the bomb has gone down. They have been hard anchoring, and finally they're deciding, let's go look for that KO.
Yeah, and that full rotations came through, so it might be possible that that KO gets away with it.
Might. Wait. Omen, run around the corner. This could be the fight of the century here. Looking for it. It's the Opto.
And he does get away with 1. Okay, worth it. Worth that long rotation. I do like to see.
That's what we needed to see here, but I also want to see some more kills. Eddie, Lendorf, and Weaver are only good for 1 in 5 rounds. So I need to see a little bit more from them here. Obviously, we are going to see that op in the hands of Loverboy transfer back into the hands of the Jet MJT. We do have the ultimates, though, so it's kind of surprising that we're not seeing, you know, that op dropped in the hands of maybe Eddie and MJT pop in the Blade Storm for an eco, but they're kind of full sending the Jet op here.
Revealing area.
You know, we were just talking in the last match, like, how powerful the Goats looked. Oh no, just catching Sova's, like, cape, is it? Does Sova wear a cape? No way. I've just noticed this Sova wears a cape.
Yeah, as Edna Mode would say, no capes, but in Valorant, it's completely on the table here. But we are seeing defense already lose one, and it's the Sova. Surprisingly, the cape wearer is not going to be the cape crusader and will drop real quick. And front is going to try to hold down.
Enemy
Is going to be able to get gunned down yet again by whizzing.
Yeah, easy execute onto site. Ross using some great smokes again, getting a couple more assists all in all, up to about 9. And does have From the Shadows on board. Lewis getting 2 though. Moving through tree, will be traded. No, will not be traded out by Weber, and will get 3 on the board. And that's another assist for the Omen.
Wow.
Ross, 11 assists. Took, wow. It's a sign of a good Omen player, that is, man.
Yeah, I mean, not only 11 assists, but still managing to get kills of his own. 5 kills here. He's nearly tied with Lewis and Jakes. He's practically second of the barrel, but we have to look at Whizzing right now. Has been lurking pretty much the entire game, kind of taking the role away from MJT, doing exactly what MJT does best, but better. And I'm really seeing that, but look at this. MJT, not able to full buy, will now choose to save and pop the Blade Storm for us today.
Yeah, Recon Bolt destroyed. Swans really just proving what I said before the match about how they're so formidable. They're turning a squad we saw perform so well in the last game into what looks like quite a weak squad, but it must just depend against who you're against, and when you're against the Swans, it's extremely tricky. Ross gets the kill onto MJT. MJT peeking, trying to play counter flash, but will be taken out, and there's players on B site as well. They're just dropping them everywhere.
Yeah, they're kicking him down the curve here, and they're ready to do it some more. We got Lewis, though.
I have the spike.
Already very aggressive, ready to swing out. What they're known for, Swan. Very on their toes of the enemies, constantly up close and personal, ready to do it again. Loverboy, though, stuck in market, and he's the only thing in the sale right there, and he's going to be free. What a shot from Lewis, a 4K in total by the Killjoy, and is that a second flawless round this game?
It's amazing stuff, mate. You mentioned aggression, but it's controlled aggression as well. It's aggression with a good balance of patience, and that's how you play Valorant. You can't just run it down. You need to wait for the timing to explode, and the Swans are doing exactly that, and it's just so beautiful to see. First time I saw them, I was talking a lot about team cohesion and util combos, like breach flashes for a jet to dash to the back of site, etc. But this time we're really seeing the full squad just work together to get that map controlled and just absolutely explode where necessary.
Yeah, absolutely being explosive here, but let's see if they can do it again. Right now, the attack is doing a decent job pushing these players back. We just want the Goats really just bring their all, but it's not happening this time. Lewis, again, on the kill streak, looking for more. We're going to see Eddie, though, doubling it down. Finally, Eddie is ready to rock and roll with the Sheriff in hand, grabbing that 2-piece, but it's A that's under the attack here, and they have to try to hold it down with just 1 KO.
I mean, what an excellent bluff. It's going to work so well as the Swans just walk on a site, turning the retake into a 3v3. And with Sin so far, once they've got sight, there is not a lot the Goats can do, but they're going to do their best. MJT in the smoke again, hopefully not going to be taken out in the smoke once more. And with the Operator on Heaven, it's a really hard thing that you sort of utilize and make use of an A, depending on where the opponents are, but the shorty is going to come out.
One enemy remaining.
No!
Beautiful spray from the Sova. I mean, attackers, they were looking pretty rusty there with that opening shots from Eddie, but they managed to just bring it back with that A hit beautifully. That double from Jake. I'm hoping to see even more yet again, but let's just find out if they're going straight in.
You know those would you rather games, isn't there? Like, would you rather fight 1 bear or 100 swans? I'd rather, if it comes to Valorant, I'd rather fight 1 bear than any of these players right now.
I mean, I mean, if you're having to fight farm animals, goats versus swans is definitely a good question here. But honestly, I think right now, goats are definitely looking like a tastier snack, as swans seem to be pretty tough meat here, as they are just absolutely whizzing by 8-0. Definitely need to see him.
Oh my god, Whizzing didn't deserve that kill, but still gets it as Lewis takes down MJT. The goats are dropping. Well, at least Whizzing's down. Managed 2 does drop.
Last player standing.
Yeah, is going to drop it. Lewis is on a 3K yet again, but what is this? The ultimate. He's taking the bomb away from his team. Luckily, Lewis is going to be able to buy him some time to plan it. The Loverboy is going straight in, and Loverboy is not going to be very happy about that. Gonna take it down. Attackers now up 9 rounds. I talked a little bit about this at the start. Ascent is a map which is either incredibly fast or the longest thing you've ever been in. It's one or the other. There's never a medium tier of length in Ascent here.
Yeah, well, it's looking like it's going pretty fast. I mean, the Goats just can't even get one round on the board. I mean, they're on a save round right now with 4 ults. I mean, do you think they're going to use the ults in an act of desperation, or are they going to save and just save the ults and try and make it 10-2 at the very least?
Get out of my way.
Yeah, they're definitely not saving anything for anybody else here. They are eating anything up. But look at that scoreboard. Nobody on the defense side is in double digits quite yet. 10 rounds in. We've already had
bait.
A pretty good push.
Bait. Good bait.
This
is it gonna
put a bait in the water here, but
what are you doing, MJT? Where are you looking? Where are you looking?
Okay, Lewis is gonna take that 1 kill, turn it into 3, multiply him, and absolutely multiply with the enemies. Well, doing it again and looking for more. It's gonna be just 1 remaining. Loverboy yet again will be able to pick up a different gun and die.
It's like we're watching a different squad, man. If you asked me to like guess the Goats ranks last game, I would have said, yeah, Immortal straight up. But now they're starting to look a little bit lower than that, as the Swans just tear them to pieces.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing in the just best kind of gameplay you want to be watching. But the only double digits on the board for defense is actually their deaths, and that's not really a good look for them for sure.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
It is definitely not. I mean, 2 deaths is the minimum you're expecting from Rose here, and 4 here for the side of Lewis and Wizzing. This is something completely different. But look at that. It's a not still 1 go.
It's to block the dart so you can push into mid without being seen, that one. So it does help, but if the drone's going to come around the corner instantly as well, then it's going to catch you out. MJT still getting 2 great kills in mid. Is it going to be a third? It will be, as Jakes goes down as well. Spray through that smoke, get your 4. Unfortunately, not going to have the luck that Wizzing did, but Loverboy does clean up.
Down mid.
Yeah, is going to clean this up here. Now it's all up to Lewis, but Lewis has been the multi-kill master and ready to absolutely prove it. Can he somehow clutch it on D5? He is going to find out Lendoth. And he's going to lend a hand to the death of that player. Looking for another one. MJT will try to swing. And he's actually going to take it down.
Oh my God, Lewis.
He's the multi-kill master, as I said, and he's absolutely racking up those picks. But where are the others? Silva is right around the corner. Just have to find that pick.
Do you know what it is as well? If Lewis can pick up this spike, I wouldn't want any other agent in this situation with a full util.
I got the spike.
To fit, like, and a lockdown to sort of defend or push this. This could be big. Edie hiding out in wine, though. That could also be big.
Yeah, a huge game here for us.
Swarm grenade into wine. Swarm grenade into wine.
No,
no.
Check your corners.
No, no. You need to check wine, Lewis. You can't just walk past it. There was time to check wine, and now it's not going to be all fine. Oh, no. Yep, no, yep. Oh, Edie. Wasn't checked and comes out on top. You know, Lewis could have swarm grenaded wine, could have checked it, and then would have been in an extremely powerful position. But finally, the not checking corners does help in the favor of the Goats instead of against them. So they've got 1 on the board now. They do have a couple ults, so this might be a 10-2.
Yeah, it might be a 10-2. Hopefully it is, especially since they have 5 ultimates versus just Lewis's. I mean, Manisk might be able to pull it off, though. I think if he gets 1 pick, that null command completely shuts down players like MJT, completely shuts down Eddie here as well. There's not a whole lot you can really do against that null command, but this is another very aggressive play, and already we're seeing the repositioning perfectly from the sides of Swans.
If the Swans pull this out the bag against 5 ultimates that should all be used considering it's the last round, I won't be surprised, but I will still be impressed.
You should run.
I'm gonna be fairly impressed here, though. Making this opening attack. He's gonna be able to drop that for the board, but that's MJT.
Go on, mate.
Nice double, but from 3, we are seeing Ross being able to grab Loverboy and attack. Still will be able to get this bomb planted here. Ross, very aggressive push-up. Will be able to grab MJT now. It's just gonna be 2 remaining. Manisk right on the corner, spots that 1 clean shot.
Nice.
Still has everything he needs, and that ultimate is pushing them back. Flashbang is doing everything he can, but defense Killjoy, the lockout He's going to push him out.
It's been interesting because the first time I saw the Swans, Manisk was like completely on top, but now at the bottom of the leaderboard, it must just be a different map, different age, you know. And Manisk with 14 assists doing his job. Swans man doing more than his job as he gets 2 absolutely crucial kills there.
Yeah, you were saying. I mean,
I was saying.
Player, he just says, I bet. Let's prove you wrong. And now we're at 1-11.
Oh my days, man.
Wow.
You know what I want to see now? I want to see the Swans in other competitions. You know, they've proven already that the entire Welsh Esports League is no match for them. And I want to see them out there getting into the world, taking on some other teams, because this is a squad to be reckoned with for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, it is, of course, a mirrored matchup. So maybe it's defense or very, 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 very attack-sided.
No, it's a swan-sided map. I think every map is a swan-sided map. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. I was putting the benefit of the doubt there, but now let's see if we can doubt Manisk here, holding this all against A. We are going to see Whizzing jump right in, spawn out a lot of people, and that's going to force these defenders to already start rotating. Ross kind of stuck in Cat. Whizzing, letting them push on.
Oh, nice. Will be traded out though. Swan's getting some excellent kills, and yeah, it's just MJT now with the frenzy. Not the best weapon for this situation.
I got the spike.
Oh, here we go, though. I mean, the frenzy's okay. It definitely has a very quick TTK when it comes to pistols. But can it actually go through these guys? No. Yeah. Ross is going to be able to pick that off, and that's match point advantage here. You know, obviously, I think we've been in this game for, what, 20 minutes, and it's already at match point.
Yeah, and I really did think the Ghosts would get more on the board than this. I thought they'd get 3, 4, 5. You know, I thought they had a chance of maybe getting double digits like the Pirates did, but so far it is only the Pirates breaching that 10 mark against the Swans. Oh my days.
Could be, but here we go. Right away. This is not where you want to be, especially since you look at that buy round. These guys want to end it. We're seeing a Phantom and a Vandal being pulled out against pretty much just whatever they can scrape together at a yard there. But let's see. That's going to be one. Whizzing going for it, but only able to get one. But Ross is going down.
Oh my god, and it's all over already. 13-1 to the Swans, just taking yet another easy, clean victory out the bag. Completely unbeaten. They've got one more round to go.
Yeah, that was definitely something you don't see every day. That is exactly what we need to be having watch today, as it's a best of ones, and the Goats seem to have just been absolutely slaughtered today by the Swans, and we know which farm animal we're picking today, making sure that Goats are going to get milked here for easy points here. But my question for you, my wonderful co-caster Bigfoot, were you expecting that to go in that direction at all? Because my mind is blown right now.
I was expecting to go in that direction, but not that far and that fast. No, that was insane, bro. Like, especially after such a good performance from MJT in the last round, I thought we might have a bit of a match for Whizzing, but not in the slightest. And earlier in the first few rounds, we were talking about Ross not taking that full kill lead, but actually overtook Whizzing by the end of it. And it was 15-19, I think, for the assist. So Manisk was on 14 and Ross was on 17 or so for assists. So Ross really did come out clutch there. Amazing Omen player, really good performance. MJT still top of the leaderboard for his team, but just still no double digits apart from death for the Goats.
Yeah, that is definitely not where you want to be seeing it. Looks like all of their kills just seem to be adding up to nothing for them. And obviously, we did see a decent attempt there, but as you said, MJT is going to be at the top of his team, but that team is still going to be far, far below the team of Swans. So GG to Swans for today. And let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen next here. And Bigfoot, walk me through, are we going to be good for the day? What's next in the great game of esports Welsh? Obviously, I'm pretty excited to say that it's been fun casting with you no matter what has happened today.
Yeah, you too, bro. It'd be nice to do it again sometime. Got to clear up some loose ends. I did forget to thank Apprenticeships Wales for supporting Esports Wales, our sponsor. We wouldn't be here without them. I want to thank the production crew and everyone that's behind the scenes organizing this to happen, be that the coaches, the stream leaders. There's so many people behind the scenes making this amazing league happen. And we will be back next week. The Swans are going to be up against the Puffins, who are a team that, again, have struggled to get any wins on the board. 13-5 to the Goats against the Puffins, 13-0 from the Artist against the Puffins. So it's looking like the Swans are going to have a pretty easy road to victory, completely unbeaten in the Welsh Esports League. And I wish them all the best in the future. Hopefully they can get into some other leagues as a team, because they're showing some really good stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to be here next week. Even if I'm not going to be casting it, I'm going to be watching it, because that was a pretty quick game. And if I got 20 times in my day seeing some pro Valorant played out perfectly, that's what I want to be watching. So make sure, if you guys want to watch it, drop a follow on this channel, and just check out the Discord as well, EsportsWales. But thank you guys for having me on. Thank you so much to Bigfoot. Bigfoot, where can people find you if they ever wanted you to cast for them?
I need to set up a new email, but Bigfootcast on Twitter, Bigfootcast on Instagram, Bigfootcast on Twitch. But and soon I'll probably do that, since you're asking me right now. I'm just going to go set up bigfootcast@gmail.com as well.
Perfect. And if anybody wants to see what I do, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch. Esports, Esports Edu, and Educate-nator on
Educate-nator.
That's me, baby. Now, that's pretty much all we got for you guys today, but thanks everybody. Thanks again for the production. Gigi did great, and Corban, thank you for being our observer. But that's pretty much all we have for you guys, so we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.